Welcome. My name is Amber and this is Amber Noel Stitches. I wanted to share what all I've been stitching, and I hope that you will join me and maybe learn something, maybe add stuff to your collection. I love to see what other people are stitching and how people have finished things off with their finished objects. And so I thought maybe I'll share what I'm doing too. So we're going to go through what I've bought, what I have fully finished, what I have just finished and not completely finished, and then what I have for my works in progress. So let's jump in. So what have I bought? Okay, well, let me start that with, I work at the Silver Needle in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So that is very dangerous. If you have ever been there, you know the lovely store it is and how it's just very difficult to work there and not bring every single thing home. So I was fairly good last week. First of all, what I bought, which I know a lot of you probably also did buy, and I don't think I can share, I'm not going to share the patterns, but if you know, you know, I just dropped stuff. If you know, you know, Primrose Cottage Sip and Stitch Autumn Edition. Fabulous, fabulous. I can't wait to dive into, if you've not ever done a Primrose Cottage Sip and Stitch, you get, no matter if it is the patriotic or the Christmas, or last year they did Halloween, this year they did autumn, you always get a drinking vessel. This was this year's. Last year's you got a little coffee cup that was a black cauldron. It was adorable. You always get normally 3 to 4 patterns depending upon, normally 3. 3 is a good number that you get. You always get a plate of stickers, a sheet of stickers, not a plate. Bear with me. You always get some finishing, depending upon, you won't finish all 3 projects, but you'll finish 1 or 2. I think this time it finishes, take that back, it finishes all 3. So, and then you get the DMC floss so that you can just jump right in. All you got to do is grab whatever fabric is your pleasure. So Primrose Cottage Sip and Stitch. I'm sure I'm like the rest of you when it showed up on the door, squealed in delight. Oh, I forgot. And there's floss drops. Always some floss drops in there. So I bought that last week. So that means that I haven't stitched any of it yet. Not quite sure I'm going to get that started this autumn, but there's a possibility one of those may jump into the rotation. The other thing I bought, and I struggle, Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine. I knew I would get that wrong. I don't always buy these. Because I work at the shop, I kind of thumb through it to see if I really want it or not. And this one had 2 patterns that I am going to have to stitch eventually. First of all, this one is Autumn at Midnight, designed by Amanda Corbett of Starlight Stitching Company. I'm going to have to stitch that one. I don't know if you can see it. Is that not the cutest thing? I don't have a black, I have 2 cats, but I don't have a black cat currently, but I did. He passed away several years ago, and his name was Zach, and he was my precious little baby. And so this one's definitely, I'm pretty sure I even already have the blue fabric in my stash. So thank you, Amanda at Starlight Stitching Company. I will most definitely be stitching Mr. Black Cat, Autumn at Midnight. And the other one, for all of us who are Teresa Vignette, Shakespeare's Peddler fans, which I am absolutely. This one, I didn't need it. Do you know what I mean? I didn't need it. But I want it, and I had to have the magazine. So, Teresa Vignette. Okay, I don't know if you can read it. Here we go. The goblins will get you if you don't watch out. Apparently it is from an old poem, Little Orphan Annie, by James Whitcomb Riley. She remembers listening to it in grade school, which was just a few years ago. And she still keeps her feet under the covers because the goblins will get you if you don't watch out. So if you notice, it is finished like her Land That I Love. So she's got the fabric around it as a border and the wooden buttons. Oh my gosh, can't wait to stitch that. So this is what I bought, added to my collection this week. Not sure when I'll jump into stitching them, but it's okay, they're in my collection whenever I feel like jumping into those. Okay, fully finished. Okay. The other thing, you know, if you know anything about the silver needle, we have the most amazing finisher who is Mona Bost. Mona is one of my favorites. She is one of my favorite friends. And so I have her on speed dial. I see her every week. I see her several days a week. I talk to her almost every day. So I have the best finisher in my back pocket to use, and she will lovingly tell me, if I was you, I would do this, and if I was you, I would do that. But let me start out with these. I stitched last year and didn't get finished. This is Primrose Cottage Halloween Quaker. I just did it as a standing easel, just put some black chenille around it, and I left a little bit of a fabric border. So instead of it being flush, like sometimes I wanted the orange fabric to show through because it had bats and moons and it was super cool. So I love this one by Primrose Cottage Halloween Quaker. Debated on putting in a bow. I'm really bad about over finishing. I want to add way too much stuff to it, and so Mona's like, nope, that's perfect the way it is, leave it alone. So I was ready to glitz and glamour it with all kinds of junk, and she's like, stop it, Amber. So this one's done. Primrose Cottage Halloween Quaker. Okay, this was from, the next three I'm going to show you were from the 2024 Primrose Cottage Sip and Stitch, which was all Halloween themed last year. The first one I have is Boo Hisses and Cross Stitches, and I did put a bow on that one. And I also have the fabric showing through with the candy corns because I thought that was adorable. It's done on a blue fabric I got from Bee Stitch Me. I don't remember the name of it. I think all three of these are done on the same blue fabric fat quarter that I had from Bee Stitch Me. And so it's done as an easel because I have Miss Mona's amazing instructions. So this was another Primrose Cottage Boo Hisses and Cross Stitches. And then this one, I thought I was fully finished, but I believe I'm going to be adding a border to this one. I thought I was lazy. I got tired, and I was like, I'm done. And then Mona's like, no, you need to finish it like the other ones. It needs a border. So this one is the No Tricks Just Treats from Primrose Cottage. I think you can see that, right? It's not fuzzy. Love this one. Still, it was done on the blue fabric from Bee Stitch Me. I did it just the way it came. I didn't change anything. I just thought it was adorable the way it was. And my most favorite from this lineup that came last year is the Halloween Cauldron. I got the board from Starry Night Studio. You can find them, I believe, on Etsy. Somebody came to the Silver Needle Stitch Getaway in August, and they were stitching this, and I asked them how they were going to finish it, because I'm always asking people how they're going to finish stuff. And she showed me this online, and I think I'd ordered it before before I went home. I'd already ordered it. And so it comes already painted black, and it came with the black and orange check circle already on there. It's like 75% finished. And so all I had to do was make my circle, put a little fluff on it, glued it down on the back, glued it to here, and then when it was done, I added the purple chenille around it. Again, I was gonna bow it. I was trying to find bat buttons and stuff, and everything I came up with took away from the pretty cross stitch, and Mona was like, stop it, again. Leave it alone, Amber. Leave it the way it is. So, isn't this the cutest thing you've ever seen? I am addicted to Primrose Cottage, just in case you didn't realize that. I'm a Primrose Cottage junkie and proud of it. And so here we go, fully finished. I'm hanging this up downstairs somewhere. I don't know where. It may go on the mantle. I'm in love with it. Still gonna probably add something to this before. So this one you'll probably see next video, because it's finished but not fully. So it's just for me to add another border. I'm gonna have to pop this off, and I'm afraid I'm gonna rip it to smithereens to do that. So, but it's adorable. What else have I fully finished? I think, oh wait. Okay, so I'm a bag lady. I'll admit it. I'll take the title. I have tons of bags, and if you do know me, or if you've been to Galleria in St. Charles, Missouri, and you've seen all the bags in the Silver Needle room, I've stitched all of those. I love Shepherd's Bush bags. There's something in this bag. What is it? Oh, I forgot. Okay. So I finished Jingle because he's adorable. It uses pearl cotton. I've done all of them. This one I didn't get finished yet. My Santa is crooked. I have a love-hate with the buttons on these. They don't love to stay on. Some reason I can't get a really good knot behind them. So, and the other bad thing is I've got 2 cats, and I have one cat who thinks these buttons are the challenge of the evening. So if I leave this setting like this downstairs anywhere, she is going to get one of those buttons off. But anyway, this is Jingle, Shepherd's Bush chart with a It's So Emma bag. I believe this bag is in Berry. Yep, I think it's Berry is the name of this one. So I finished that this week, just because it had been in the bottom of the rotation. And then if you went to Friendstitch 2 weeks, a couple weeks ago, one, you saw me and Mona on there, because Mona did the finishing and I helped her record it and all that. And 2, we had this in our kit. And so because I love bags, I had to finish it immediately. Now, I don't love sheep. So I made another Snowflake. So in the pattern that came with Friendstitch, I believe, I think this side was a sheep, lamb, sheep, you choose. I don't know the difference. I just made it another Snowflake. And so there's snow that was done with Friendstitch. And this is, again, that came from Shepherd's Bush. It probably won't be released to the public till this time next year. It used Rainbow Gallery Glisten for the snowman, which was super cute. And then this is the lavender bag, I believe, in the small. And I gave it, of course, Mr. Snowman had to have a carrot nose. So he got a carrot nose button, which may or may not survive. And I believe there was a button over here that, again, see, look, there was a button there. No, cat took it. It was probably a snowflake like that. It's somewhere in my house. Or I'm going to find it in the litter box. Okay, so that was my FFOs. Yes, those are my FFOs. So, now my FOs. These are my fully finished, so these can be hung. FFO can be hung right now. FO means I've stitched it, but I haven't finished it. Okay. My kiddos, my oldest Craig and his lovely, beautiful wife Reagan went to Scotland this year. And so, of course, I found the Celtic, Mill Hill Celtic Santa Scotland. Isn't he adorable? And so I finished him. Okay, so look at that beard and the mustache. I mean, it's obnoxious. It was a little bit of a booger. I might have said just a few cuss words, maybe more than a few. What I'm going to do, so the word Scotland in 2025, I'm going to cut out. And I went to Hobby Lobby this morning and I got my steps in at Hobby Lobby. I think that should be on a shirt. I got my steps in at Hobby Lobby. I can't decide how to finish it. How do you finish your Mill Hills? Especially ones like this. I want it to be an ornament. I don't want it to be heavy. They're not going to put it up all year long. It's going on a tree. So I need it to not take down the tree. So I went and I tried to find a wood oval. I didn't want it to be square and I didn't want it to be circle. I want it to be oval. And I really wanted the rustic ones that had the bark on it. And all they had were little ones that were too small, or they had big round ones. And so I was frustrated. Walked everywhere. I walked up the entire Hobby Lobby trying to find an oval that I thought, because I found these and I bought them, but I think they're too heavy. I'm not thrilled with this idea. And then I went with my go-to, which is adhesive sticky back foam, but I'm not thrilled with this idea either, but this may be where I end up. And then of course I come home and I'm sitting at my kitchen table and I look outside and I'm like, okay, which tree can I cut down? I know where the chainsaw is. I don't know how to work it. I think you just pull the doohickey. And I could just find my own piece of wood with bark, but that'll end me in the ER. That's not the word. That will put me in the ER. So I didn't do it, and but it's still kind of percolating in the back of my head that I may have to cut down a tree to get my finished piece. But again, it still may be heavy, and so I don't really know. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this perforated part out, and I want the Scotland in the 2025, but I have not figured this out yet. So how do you finish your Mill Hills? I'd love to see your ideas to see if you can spark something, because I don't know what to do without making it too heavy for a tree. But I still want it to be substantial and last. I don't want it to be flimsy. The other thing is, if you're stitching Mill Hills and you're stitching on perf paper, highly suggest getting one of these. I got this at Keepsakes while I was at StitchCon this year. Fabulous time. So if you're ever in Cincinnati, Ohio, go to Keepsakes, absolutely. And so what this does is it's magnetic, and you pop your perf paper in there. Boom. And you stitch with it like this, or this could be the frame. This could be how you fully finish it. I'm using this as a stitch, like a Q-snap. But if I want to, I might use it as a frame. I don't know. I only bought one while I was there. So I may have to go back. I may have to drive 11 hours to Cincinnati. Road trip. The other thing is it's a needle minder because it's magnetic. So anywhere you pop your needle around here, boom, needle minder, built in, fabulous. So highly recommend one of these. I have no idea. They're from somebody in Russia. But instrumental. They also have different sizes. So like this would be for the big ones, your Santas, your Jim Shore, anything that comes with this piece of perf paper. They also have small rectangle ones if you're doing the smaller Mill Hills, that are little. They've got a size of this for that too. And I didn't buy it, and I regret it. I regret it. So hopefully I can get back into StitchCon so that I can go buy more stuff. The other thing you absolutely need if you're doing Mill Hill is a Tacky Bill. Now, these were called Tacky Bobs back in the day. It was a box of beads. I love my Tacky Bills. I have several of them because I lose them. I put them in project bags and then I can't find them when I'm trying to do the Mill Hill that I want to do at the moment, which is really bad. So I always have Tacky Bills laying around. I try to put them in one spot so I will know where they're at, but I never do. So this one is staying where I know where it is. But if you're doing Mill Hills, that's the two items I would 100% suggest you do. Now, the other thing that I have finished, if you went to Friendstitch, you know that we got a beautiful little ornament in there. And that was what was in my Jingle bag. It's called the first Snowflake of Winter, and they finished it as a mattress. I'm sorry, Mona finished it as a mattress. And although that is lovely, I wanted it to be something that would go on a tree. And so I finished it. Here's the other thing. This won't be released to the public. You got to go to Friendstitch, y'all. It came with Cottage Garden threads, Amethyst and Ice. Okay. Have you ever felt Cottage Garden threads? They are so soft. I don't really know why, but they're lovely. And I think I might have to go to Australia to find out why. They are so soft and so lovely. But this pairing was for Friendstitch. Elizabeth and Marcia and Cecilia came up with this color they wanted, and Cottage Garden Threads did it for them. And so it's Amethyst and Ice. It is just a purple and a white. You pull the purple, you use the purple, you pull the white. You're not using both of them at the same time. It's not together. But they're so soft. I love them. I just do. And so first Snowflake for winter. So what I did is I finished it like this, and Mona helped me last week before work. I'm gonna get in trouble. Put this in a little bitty hoop. And so what I'm gonna do is I went to Hobby Lobby. I got purple fabric for the hoop butt. I'll make that this week. And then I'm going to put little white pom-poms. I've got Lady Dot snow pom-poms somewhere. I don't know where they're at. All right, show them to you. And then I got a little bitty purple ribbon so I can tie a little ribbon. You would think I would already have this, but I have every other color but purple. And then while I was there, I got little bling bling snowflakes, but I'm not quite sure they're gonna make it on the end product because they're kind of bling bling, and I don't know, snowflakes should be glittery, so maybe they'll make it on the end product. I don't know. So this one I'm working on to fully finish soon. Maybe this week, maybe not this week. Depends on how I get. But if you were at Friendstitch, you got this pattern and it's lovely, and we had a great time and it was amazing. What else do I got going on? Okay, I've got works in progress. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I have a lot of works in progress. I'm only showing you 5-ish. I have way more than that. And we're not going to talk about that. We're not going to talk. No judgment here. No judgment here. I have more whips than you should have. Okay? We should have a whip anonymous. A stitching anonymous. But you know what we would do? We would, if you showed up, hi Amber, welcome. I don't know, whatever they say. And I would be like, oh my God, you're stitching that. I have to have it. So it would not be a good thing, because I would probably have to have, I would get inspired by your projects and add to my collection, which is the opposite of what it should happen. So what do we got? Okay, I'm sorry, I disappeared because this one fell when I started the program. Okay, so my lovely friend Dawn, who comes to the Silver Needle multiple times a year, talked me into, it's not my fault. It's not my fault. It's Dawn's fault. Talked me into buying this. And this is a very old Jeannette Douglas, Be Merry and Bright. Be Merry and Bright. It's lovely. We have it finished. We have the model at the Silver Needle, and that was why Dawn saw it again this year and was like, I need this, and I don't understand why you don't have the chart, Amber. And so we grabbed Jeannette and we said, okay, we need this because if Dawn's stitching it, I gotta stitch it too. And Jeannette said, oh my gosh, you guys need this. And so here we go. I've got Be Merry. And am I gonna get it done before this Christmas? Doubtful. But there's a possibility. And I still have it in a Q-snap. But here is the part that I've started. I'm doing it on 32 count. I got an Opalescent. It's a natural with a silver Opalescent. And I've got just the little center part finished. You can kind of see. I got the flowers. I don't have their little flower pot thing yet. Jeannette designed this in 2012. So it was very difficult to find. And when she designed it, she used wool threads and didn't want to use, she used Gentle Art wool and she used Gloriana wool. And so we grabbed Jeannette and said, help us. And so we got it converted. And then she added that conversion to the chart. So if you buy the chart, now you will automatically get the conversion, I believe, because mine came with this, even though I wrote it down while Jeannette was still in the store. So this is a work in progress. Maybe done by Christmas, doubtful. Let's just be brutally honest. I don't think Be Merry is going to make it for Christmas, but it's a possibility. Now, what do I have here? I have, okay, here we go. How many stitch alongs are too many stitch alongs? I don't know, because I'm in too many. So I joined the Stars and Stripes stitch along because I needed another stitch along project. Like I needed a hole in the head, right? And so because I'm a middle stitcher, I decided I'm going to do it all in one piece. And so I am doing it on Country Vintage Mocha. It's one of my favorites. You can never go wrong with Vintage Country Mocha, Country Vintage Mocha. Your choice. Doesn't matter. I started with the ampersand. And so I'm going to probably do the barn on this side, which is Teresa Vanette's Shakespeare's Peddler. I'm sorry, it's over there. And so that will be the next thing I will work on. I probably need to get a couple more stitches into it. So that is what I'm working on. If you want to join, I think all we're trying to do, because you want to stitch along, I'll join. We're trying to get this done by May 30th, 2026. My problem is that's so long away that I think I got time. And I'm going to be stitching these like May 20th is what I'm going to be doing. So I can't do that. I have to keep myself straight. So if you want to join, there is a Stars and Stripes SAL Facebook page. Join it. You've got till May 30th, and then we will all have these done. It'll be fabulous and wonderful. And since this was something I already had in my collection and I already had it kitted, when I saw the SAL show up, I was like, yeah, that will help me get it done. And so I don't think I said it. I'm stitching this over 1 on 25. It is so beautiful. I can't wait to start on on the barn because it's just absolutely gorgeous. So stay tuned. I will keep working on this one and show you what that's going to continue to look like. And again, I've got it in shepherd's bush bag, just like this one was in a shepherd's bush bag. And then, okay, I'll go to my next shepherd's bush bag. This is this one. Now, my kids also went to Hawaii. So this is a work in progress. It isn't technically a work in progress because I haven't put a stitch in it. But I have to get this done before Thanksgiving because I want to give it to them before Thanksgiving. It's the Hawaii Santa because he just got back from Hawaii. So, yeah, I don't know what that's called. It's kitted. It's not a whip, but it's got to get a stitch or two in. I can probably finish this in a couple of days if I put my mind to it. But I tend to get distracted by shiny things and add more stuff to my collection. Okay, now my other stitch along. Okay, Satsuma Street fans, where are you? Okay, my holiday house. Now, I have Monster House downstairs. I meant to grab it and show it to you because I just put it in a frame because I had it done months ago and I just put it in a frame. But I'll show that to you next video. Okay, so here is my holiday house. We have gotten part 1 and part 2. So this is my holiday house. I am in love with it. I think she should do these every year. I'm all in. I used DMC. Oh, phooey. Don't ask me what it was that I used. Wait a minute. So I used, here we go. For the gold, I used E3852. So it is definitely a gold shimmer metallic, E3852. And then for the white, I used the E5200. So for the tree and the snow and the white around the 25, I used the glitter E5200. I didn't put it in his beard, the Nutcracker's beard, but everything else I used. It is a booger to work with. If you heard me cussing, it was because of that. It is a major booger to work with. You just got to constantly be straightening out your threads because they get all twisted, tangled, and drive you crazy. But it's worth it. I think it's worth it because it's gorgeous. And so I can't wait to see what the rest of the house is going to look like. As you can see, I put all my stuff in a binder, in a folder because it keeps me sane. And the other thing I do is I enlarged the key, the DMC key, and put it on the front, so I'm not always having to figure out what color I'm doing because it's on here on the front. But this is what it's gonna, like that, the 2 parts that I finished, that's what it's gonna look like with the whole piece. I think you can still join this Sal at satsuma.com. Everything shows up in your email every 2 weeks, and you print the pattern, and then it will be open to the public in a year. But go ahead and do it now because it's fun. It's just fun. So 32 count natural, I believe is what this is. You need something that can show the white. That's why I wouldn't recommend anything lighter than this. I've seen a lot of people, we have a Satsuma, of course, we all have Facebook pages. We have a Satsuma stitch along page, I believe, and I've seen people stitch this on blue and it's gorgeous. And a green, like a lighter green. So anything that would show the white, you would be perfectly fine. So anything in your stash that's 32 count, you would be good. So that is my stitch along. The next part comes out this Thursday, Friday. So I know that honestly, I really only have a couple of days to stitch because then that's going to come out and I'm going to get sidetracked and it's something shiny and yeah, it's bad. Lastly, okay, so I went to Galleria and Val from Val Stuff, who we love dearly, brought new releases to us at Galleria. And I had to have them. Had to. So the reason why this is in my whip, even though it's not a whip because I haven't started it, so technically it's not a whip. I'm all over the place. Are these two kits, but they're well, this one's Halloween. This one's really fall. So this one I could probably keep up through Thanksgiving, but I need to do them because it's September whatever right now. It's the end of September, and so I need to do these so I can get them up. And oh my God, is he not the cutest thing you've ever seen? He's absolutely adorable. Look at his teeth. It's amazing. And so it comes with everything you need. It comes with everything you need to finish him. It comes with the perf paper. I'm sorry, you have the floss. You have to add floss. You have floss, but we all have DMC, and I guarantee you've got an orange and you've got a black and you've got a blue. You've got one in your stash. It doesn't matter if it's that orange. You just use an orange. We all have black, 310, hello. And then a white, we all have white. Doesn't matter whether you got 5200 or Blanc, a 3865 would work just fine. And then a blue, pick a blue. So you don't even have to worry if it's the same DMC that's in this kit. But the finishing part of it is all there. You've got the wool to make the leaf. You've got the cord to make the thing. You've got the little pumpkin, and he's already stained. And you got the eyeballs. I mean, look at those eyeballs. Is that not adorable? Okay, so he might have to be worked on tonight. And then this one. Is this not the cutest little thing you've ever seen? Wise old owl. And he says, a wise old owl sits in a tree keeping an eye on you and me. So I love the owl stuff, which she does it, it's three-dimensional. So you've got the wood, and then you're going to have the owl is going to sit on a little stick, and he's going to sit in front of the full piece of perf paper. And then you've got the leaves that are going to be on the front. And then look at that. There's a Sharpie. Guess what you're going to do? We're going to blacken some perf paper. Okay, so I'm going to try to do this week. And I'm going to come back and tell you how this goes because I'm super excited and I have to do it. And we love Val. Now, I have a whole nother bag full of Val stuff that is, I need to work. I've got a cat. Hello there, Milo baby. And so it's kind of sad how many Val's stuff that I have. It just really is. But I do. But these two have got to get stitched. Come on, bugger. And so they are going to probably need to go down and be stitched tonight. Maybe. I think that's what we're going to try to do. Okay. We covered it. All right. So I think that's all I got. So I know this is a little scattered. I've been trying to do this for a long time, and I just thought I'm going to sit down and do it. And it's going to happen, and it's not professional or beautiful or whatever, but I hope that you enjoyed what I showed, and we will do this again. This morning, my dear friend Sarah gave me this calendar, and this morning on Monday, September 29th, it said, "You are wonderfully capable. You got this." And so, thank you, Sarah. I thought, you're right. I am wonderfully capable, and I've got this, and you do too. And so I picked out the shirt without even thinking about it, and my shirt says be the light. So I'm going to be the light, and I've got this, and you've got this. So whatever you're stitching, let me know. Let me know if you've got wonderful ways to finish stuff. Let me know if I can help you. I will help you in any way I can. I love cross stitch. I will talk about it until I'm blue in the face and you're definitely sick and listen to me. So I'm not going to keep going much longer. Thank you. This is Amber Noel Stitches, and I appreciate you, and let's get stitching.